Hi everyone, welcome back to another Ask the inFlow Expert. I'm Khiry, I'm part of inFlow Success Team, and today I would love to be able to go over how to change product names. Before we get started, if you're enjoying these videos, please like, subscribe, and share. These videos and your comments are very helpful whenever we get any feedback from you. And if you have any interesting ideas, please feel free to leave that in the comments below. Definitely link some of these articles out as well about everything I'm going to do today. And would just love to hear how you feel. I know this is a really common one that I get questions about of, hey, I made a mistake and I need to change the name of these products, or sometimes people use this in a product type. I won't go that in depth with it, but I will make a little note at the end about when it comes to wanting to change your product type. Say it might be the same name in this case, but you made a non-stock product instead of a stocked product. So let's get a little bit into it. I'm going to start by just going into our products here and just explaining the ones I'm going to be changing today. Today we are going to tackle some of our Pokeballs that we have. So say in this case I wanted to change the name of some of these items here. You know, maybe I made a mistake. These are not Pokeballs, Ultra Balls, Great Balls. Maybe they're one of the other magical balls as a part of Pokemon. And I want to change the name of that. So it's a very few simple steps to get this done. This is a great way also to be able to do this in bulk. Obviously, you could go to the actual name and copy it and change it from here. You know, I could call this a lure ball if I wanted to, and save that. But you know that if you had a really long list, that could get pretty time consuming. So I'm going to show you the way how you can do this really easy. So I'm going to get out of here and just discard that changes. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go into this little gear down here, and that'll have an option for you to export. When you get to your export, you're going to want to do your product details export. What this CSV is going to export for you is all of the products that you have in your system with all the associated details with them. So that way you don't have to go about changing any of that information when you go and change the name. So I've already done this and cleaned up my list a little bit just for the purpose of this video. So I have my CSV export right here. I'm just gonna blow this up a little bit better so you can see. I deleted some of the names out of here. I just left the 4 items that I'm going to be changing today. And what I'm first going to do is create a new cell in here. And I'm just going to go into insert and I'll have that space there. And I'm going to call this new name. Let's take the caps lock off. We don't need to be yelling at our CSV. So in this case, I want to keep the same SKUs. I want to keep all the same information. As you know, like everything on the product details will have all the information that I have on here in terms of my cost, if I had any sales units of measure, you know, if it's a manufacturing item, and is it active, which is another really helpful one. And that's something that you might use with product type changes whenever you need to do that. The true statement means that it is an active product and not a deactivated product. Okay, so just to let you know, those are some of the details that are on here. These are all stocked products, of course. These are the categories that they're currently in. So let's go and change the name of some of these. So just like how you saw on my computer, I'm going to change this to a lure ball. I'm going to change this to a, let's call it a golden ball. Let's call this one a nest ball. And you know what? We'll leave Master Ball for right now. It's the best one out of them all, so let's keep that there. And I'm just gonna hit save on there, and you know, on your computer, Control S or Command S. Hopefully I got that right. For PC, I'm on a Mac. And that will save my CSV. So I'm just going to minimize that right now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to this gear here. And this time we're going to do an import. So I'm going to have my product details because we're going to be importing back a product details in here. And I'm going to select my CSV that I had already saved. Let's hit next. Now, when you get to this screen, you may have been familiar with this. You can see already that it's starting to fill in all the details about what was on my CSV. This will likely happen if your headers on your CSV are the same as the ones that inFlow understands them to be. You know, a barcode is a barcode, category is a category. But you saw on mine, I put new name. So obviously it's not going to fill that in because there's no fields on this left side that are called new name. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to go to this button here called change name. Once I click that, what it's going to do is it's going to change that first one from product name to desired name. So this is going to be the name that we want to call these new items. So it is still geared and connected to product name as it was before, but this time I'm going to go here and I'm going to go for new name. And then I'm going to take what the current name is, which on my CSV is called product name. So the one that was in there before. Everything else before is pretty much, I don't want to touch it. I don't need to change that. That information can stay the same, you know, but there's ways that you can definitely use these different fields for your advantage. In the description, we'll also link some details about exports. You can look at that Learning Center article as well, if you want to take a shot at that as well, or if you might need it for any further information. And as you can see right at the top here, when I went and selected my new name as my desired name, you can see that the names are actually starting to populate here and all the previous fields are staying the same. So we can kind of get a little indicator that this is likely correct already. We left master ball out of it, so we can see nothing's going up on there. You know, it knows that 4 products are on the CSV currently, but it doesn't need to make a change to that because I left that one blank, you know? So again, that's another thing to keep in mind. If you don't change the name of something, it will leave it untouched. If nothing new is there, it will leave it untouched, which is extremely helpful because then all you have to focus on is the new stuff. So I'm going to hit import now because this looks correct. And hit OK, and it lets me know that that is in progress. And we might just need to wait a few seconds here just for that to take place. If you do this, you should get an email as well when it is completed and if it was successful or if there were any errors. And look at that. Let's filter it out so we just get our lovely Pokeballs here. And we now can see that my Pokeball is now a Lure Ball, my Ultra Ball is now a Nest Ball, and my Great Ball is called a Golden Ball. So I'll probably have to go and change the pictures of these now, you know, just to match the new names that they have. But you can see how simple that was. You know, they're still stock products. So you might remember at the beginning of this video, I talked about how sometimes people want to use this process as well if they made a mistake when it comes to product types. Maybe we'll make a video about that in the future just to go more in depth with that. So if you are interested in seeing that, please leave a comment because if we get enough people asking about it, we will do a video for you. I will be glad to do that. But I will link for right now another article for us that talks about changing product type, so you can go more in depth with that. But the real core of the changing really relies on this desired name change. When it comes to product type, there's just a little bit more of having to deactivate some of those products that were there before, right? Because inFlow doesn't do great with having the same name. So if you're just changing the product type, it's very likely you're keeping the same product name, but you can't have 2 of the same names, you know, in the system, even if the product is deactivated. So yeah, we can do that in another video, but like I said, leave a little comment for us and that'll let us know if we should do that if you're really interested in it. Until the next time, I'll see you. Take care. Bye.